What if I told you that peace of mind isn't about changing your circumstances, but changing one simple thing within your control? That the chaos in your life, the stress, the anxiety, the conflicts all stem from a single source. And that ancient Stoics discovered a mental shift so powerful it could bring you to instant calm, even in the middle of a storm. Today, we're going to explore what might be the most practical wisdom ever written about finding peace in a chaotic world. Epictetus wrote, "What is bad luck? Opinion. What a conflict, dispute, blame, accusation, these are all opinions. And more than that, they are opinions that lie outside of our own reasoned choice, presented as if they were good or evil. Let a person shift their opinions only to what belongs in the field of their own choice, and I guarantee you that that person will have a peace of mind whatever is happening around them." This is revolutionary. Epictetus isn't offering vague platitudes about positive thinking. He's giving us a precise diagnosis of human suffering and a practical cure. Think about what's causing you stress right now. Is it your boss's criticism? Because that's an opinion that's outside your control. Your partner's mood? Also an opinion outside your control. The economy, politics, tariffs. These are all opinions. These are things outside of your control. I think the word opinion might be getting people, but these are things that are outside your control. Now think about the last time you truly felt at peace. Wasn't it when you were fully engaged in something within your control? When you were creating, learning, choosing your own response? The Stoics understood something profound. Peace isn't found in controlling the world, but in controlling where we place our attention. Woo! Remember that, guys. We talked about less is more. Let's talk about that, but let me not deviate too far from the main topic, and we're going to get back to less is more. So this isn't just philosophy, it's practical. I keep saying it, it's practical power. When you shift your opinions only to what belongs to your field of choice, things you control, you stop wasting energy trying to control the uncontrollable. You stop letting other people's judgments determine your worth. You gain the ability to find tranquility even in difficult circumstances. And perhaps most valuable, you develop presence because you're not lost in opinions about the past or future. You're fully available right here in this moment. Here's how to practice this Stoic principle today. First, make a list of what's bothering you. Then draw a line down the middle. On one side, put everything within your control. On the other, everything outside your control. Second, commit to focusing your opinions only to the first list. For everything on the second list, practice saying, that's outside my control. I choose not to have an opinion about it. Third, whenever you feel yourself getting upset, ask, am I forming opinions about things outside of my choice? If yes, gently redirect your attention to what you can control, your judgments, your actions, your attitude. Let me pause. No, I'm gonna get to that. Let me keep going so I don't lose you guys. Ask yourself how much of your mental energy is spent forming opinions about things you cannot change. What would happen if you redirected that energy towards something that you control? Ask yourself, how much of my mental energy Ask yourself, how much of your mental energy are you going to give to the fact that your camera keeps failing on you? Do you control that? I was actually going to deviate with tariffs and talk about my investments, but I'm going to deviate right here. I cannot control the fact that my camera keeps flickering right here and out. What I can control is whether or not I'm going to finish recording this video, yes or no. I can control if I'm going to purchase a new camera, yes or no. I can control doing research, but right here, right now, my camera will fail from time to time. And am I going to let that upset me? I have no control over this camera. I don't. I'm going to tell you something else, because yesterday, 2 videos ago, I talked to you guys about On April 16th, I talked to you guys about the hidden chain of connection. Here's the chain of connection that's happening right now. The camera was asking for an update, and I chose not to update the camera because I wanted to record my videos. And now my camera's failing me. So I have, is this within my control? At first, yes. No, it's not. It's not in my control. The technology just failed. But I'm like, wait a second. It is in my control, not right now, but there's a past action I've did or did not do, chain of events that has led to this moment. So I'm gonna finish what I'm doing and address that chain of event, and I shouldn't have this problem anymore. You see? So sometimes you can't be so rigid in one particular idea. We have to combine all of our lessons. So if you haven't listened to April 16th, no, that would have been, yeah, if you haven't listened to April 16th, you should, because that connects to what I did just now. We have to use the Stoic principle that's appropriate for that moment, and we also have to combine or rearrange. These are like building blocks, or Lego pieces, and you can take out your Legos and put them different places as long as we have the important parts of our Legos and we are building appropriately to make a structure that makes sense. So, ask yourself how much of your mental energy is spent forming opinions about things you cannot change. What would happen if I redirected that energy towards something I can control? I can control updating this computer, so that's what I'm gonna do. Who in my life seems to maintain peace regardless of circumstances? How might they be applying this principle? The world will never stop presenting you with challenges, difficulties, and people who have opinions about you. But today, Epictetus offers you a superpower, the ability to find peace regardless of the external circumstances. I'm working on it, folks. I'm sure you could tell the vibe has changed completely after that camera failure. This is a work in process. I am a student. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm sharing it with you guys. I learned better actually by doing this than if I just read it privately and just forgot about it. The time I put into expressing this in the world, it helps me. You learn through education sometimes, or you learn through teaching. It's a real premise. If you don't know about it, Google it. Anyways, as I was saying, Epictetus offers you a superpower, and that's the ability to find peace regardless of external circumstances, not through controlling others, not through changing the world, but through the profound understanding that peace comes from within, from focusing your opinions only on what belongs to your field of your own choice. Elgato camera possibly not working outside my field of choice. Updating the software that is within my field of choice. So that's where I'm going to focus my attention. Chain of events. Why is my camera failing? Because I failed to make this update. Failure in itself is not a negative word. That just describes the event, and I do not feel bad about it. It's what happened. Choose your focus. Choose your peace. The power was always yours. Epictetus, he wasn't speaking from a position of privilege when he wrote those words. Born a slave in ancient Rome, he suffered physical disability after his leg was broken by his master. Sucks, folks. He had every reason to form bitter opinions about his circumstances, yet he discovered that true freedom, mental freedom, came from focusing only on what he could control. I mean, it speaks volumes. This man literally could not control much to his external environment, but he could control his mind. The idea became central to Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius, despite being the emperor of Rome, wrote in his private journals about the importance of not wasting energy on opinions outside of his control. Might be easy to say because being the emperor of Rome, he probably controlled a lot. She's like, if even I don't control that, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm one of the most powerful people on earth and I can't even control that. Today, we're bombarded with more opinions than ever before. Social media, it feeds us constant streams of judgment about events we can't control. News cycles pull our attention towards global problems we could do very little about. Advertising creates opinions about what we want or what we should be. The mental discipline Epictetus taught us is more relevant now than ever. I mean that. Modern psychology confirms this wisdom. Studies show that by ruminating on things outside of our control, it increases our anxiety and our depression, while focusing on our sphere of influence improves well-being and effectiveness. There's a profound freedom in realizing that most of what disturbs your peace is simply opinions about things you can't control. This doesn't mean becoming passive or indifferent. It means being strategic with your mental energy. Just be strategic, folks. As you move through your day, remember, you cannot control what happens, but you can control what it means to you. Okay? You can control how important this event is to you. You can't control others' actions, but you can control your response. You cannot control external events, but you can control where you place your attention. The next time you feel your peace slipping away, ask yourself, am I forming opinions about things outside my choice? Because as Epictetus knew, when you shift your opinions only to what belongs to your own field of choice, remember that field of choice, you will have peace of mind in whatever is happening to you. So I wanted to talk to you guys about the stock market because I can't control the tariffs that the president is putting in place. I can't control the fact that people are losing confidence in America. I can't control that fact. I can't control the fact that I can't control who Americans vote for. I can only control who I vote for. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase that. You know, what I can control is, do I invest on a daily basis? That's within my field of control. Do I not? These are now, we can be mad about tariffs and the stock market is hitting at all-time lows at the time of this recording. Or I could say, but I'm not retiring right now. So these are excellent opportunities to buy great assets at discounts. I can control making the purchase. I cannot control whether or not there are tariffs in place. There are tariffs in place, so what can I do as a result of that? What's within my field of choice now that we have tariffs? I can't do anything about what you guys perceive as our country. I can't do anything about whether or not this is going to work, because I want it to work. I want this country to be a great place. I live here. So again, I focus on what I can control. That is, keep working. I'm going to keep investing. In fact, I invested more because I perceive these as buying discounts. Yes, the stock market could go lower, but we're not here to talk about that. I believe in average cost investing, and if I don't use emotion, I will more likely win than if I use emotions and try to time the market. I'll screw it up. So that's what I'm controlling, okay? Let me make sure I didn't forget anything else in the beginning when I was talking. Oh, yes. It was the opinion on words. Sometimes we are talking to people and we don't even agree on the definition of words, you know? So, you know, you can say something like the word mediocre. I had said something in my previous conversations with my loved one, and I said, you know, we don't want to live a mediocre life. Mediocre sounds doesn't sound that bad to me. I mean, it can be bad, but it's just it is what it is, an average life. But mediocre to other people means you're below average, or that yeah, you're average. You're just very average, and average can also be condescending to people. Yeah, you're average. Who wants to be average? I'm okay with being average in certain areas. It all depends. Like if I have average skills in boxing, then to me, I'm like, that means I'm better than 99% of the world's population when it comes to boxing, because I have average skills at boxing when it comes to boxers. But that's still better than y'all. You know what I mean? Who don't box at all. That's how I think about it. So it all depends on where we're applying this. But the word has different powers and meaning to different people. So even when you're having a conversation with somebody, and you're like, yo, how did this person get ticked off? You may not even be aware of the power with certain words and how they feel about it compared to how you feel about it. Especially in the United States, where we have a varying degrees of cultures and translation of words. We're not all hearing the same thing. When the president makes a speech and says what he wants his country to do, we are not all hearing the same thing. We're interpreting the message very differently. And as a result, our actions may be very different. So, especially when someone has positive intentions towards you and you find yourself getting mad, just really think about it. Do you understand what they're trying to say versus what they actually said? Or vice versa? Anyways, that's today's lesson. I hope you guys found value in it. I hope you guys check out the book, The Daily Stoic. I'm learning and I'm sharing. You can find that book in the description of this video. Until next time, I'm Rock D. Lee. I'm out.